Okay, we just started the live online. I see custom streaming services rocking and rolling. So everybody say good morning as we're jumping around. Suzanne, make sure that everything's unpinned off the other pages so that this is at the top of all the pages. All right, good morning. Okay, so I was just telling VIP this, and I want to share it with everyone. And that is that at 2:30 in the morning, yes, psycho girl over here, I woke up and I heard two things. How many of you guys, you hear the whisper of spirit in your ears sometimes? You're like, oh, right? Any of you guys get that whisper, and it's like you think about something and they call you, right? It's like, it's so cool. So I woke up and I had two things on my mind at like 2:30 in the morning. And I woke up, one was, I wonder if they're in the Facebook group. I was like, I wonder if they're Facebook group and they're actually putting up their homework. Like, I was like, I wonder if that's happening right now. And the second one was, I thought, oh, I wonder if I'm getting messages from vacation rental by owner for one of our properties. Sure enough, no kidding. I don't think about vacation rental by owner, and I go and I see a bunch of people doing the homework from yesterday. So if you're brand new, you have not been following this week, put new in the comment section. If you're brand new, you haven't been following this week, put new in the comment section. Put new in the comment section if you're brand new and you have not been following. Okay, so just let me know if that's you. Okay, so I would recommend, if that's you, you go back and you listen, right, y'all? Can y'all go in the comment section, tell people if you haven't been here for day one, day two, don't think you're behind. I mean, you are, but that's okay. I've been behind and still caught up like everybody else. That's not a reason to quit, but it does mean you want to go back, because we trained a real course this week on how to fill events, how to be sold out essentially. And tomorrow, by the way, tomorrow I have my friend Suzanne coming, Suzanne Evans, and she's going to talk about how to have a 6 or 7 figure event. Okay, so a lot of people don't actually, great, I'm showing you how to fill an event, right, with like-minded people that you actually enjoy to work with. But it's also, Suzanne's amazing at how do you tell a story when you go to make an offer, or how do you set up what's called program at a glance, to be able to know, where do I put my offers, where do I put my repitches, and how do I really have a profitable, right, a profitable event. So tomorrow, I want you to know that tomorrow it's important to be here. I have spent thousands and thousands. I mean, I have, no kidding, I'm just going to give you a real number here because I don't like to be a pipe dream person. I have spent $100,000 with Suzanne Evans learning how to lead events. And so that was years ago. And she's going to come on. I messaged her yesterday, and this is what I was telling you guys about. As you're leading Bring a Friend challenges, as you're leading, webinars, whatever, courses, workshops, presentations. I mean, it's so crazy. Everybody's got a language to this, right? We're going to talk about language today. But some people in the real estate world call their events seminars or presentations, or if you're going to pitch to get money for your company, you call it a pitch deck, but really it's a presentation, isn't it? It's like a lead to an offer, which is invest in my company, right? And so, or there's courses or whatever it is, retreats, like we all call it a different language. So can we just call everything we do that we present out there, we're going to call an event right now. You guys good with that? Yes. And there's so many free events out there. This week has been about filling a paid event, because when people have to go to get their credit card or their wallet or their purse or a checkbook, you have to usually leave a room and go somewhere else to get it. Am I right? Yes or no? Am I right? Yes or no? I want to see the chats blow up. I want to know that you're paying attention. You're not multitasking. So every time I ask you something, go in the chat and let me know yes or no. So yes. So what does that tell you about the person who buys? What does that tell you? Come on, let's think. Let's get our coffee going, get our greens going. They're serious, they're motivated, they're interested, they want to invest, they're eager. That's right. And who do you want to see your offers? Who do you want to see your products? Those people. They are called the creme of the creme, right? So when you do free events, which are great, this is a free event, right? Except for people who upgraded to VIP. And I want to tell you, VIP has rocked the house, right? We have gone through some pretty cool stuff over the last 3 days. But my point is free events, this is a free event. It can be great, but it's amazing how many people can have freedom in front of them and still not show up. But when we pay, we go to the other room to get the card or to get the checkbook or to get our purse, we are more motivated. And when we're in a state of motivation, we are thankful when the offer comes in front of us, are we not? We are thankful. We're like, yes, I'm in. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. See, when you guys go out there and make an offer, right, which is connected to communication, which I'm going to talk about today. When you go out to make an offer, the thing is nobody knows the backstory. There's a backstory, isn't there? There's a backstory on what it took to even start the company you've started, to even do the event that you're doing. There's a whole backstory. And for some of us, it's a grueling backstory, right? It's like this backstory of like getting out of our own way. I was listening to an audiobook this morning. It was talking about the difference between when we're listening to our head or we're listening to our heart. Our head can have us reason. Everybody should write this down. Our head can have us reason. Reasoning creates confusion. Okay, so it's the opposite of having a gut instinct that that's the person you're supposed to marry. It's opposite of having a gut instinct that you're supposed to invest in that piece of real estate. It's opposite from saying, I have a gut instinct to run my event like this. It's totally opposite. And how many of you guys have realized over your life that the gut instinct has always been right? It's always right. We say it constantly as a human race, but yet so often we reason ourselves right out of the leadership, the spirit, whatever it is that is leading us. We lead ourselves right out of that. So I want you to write something down. Don't reason yourself out of success. When I was looking at the homework, and by the way, I do have a winner. I have a winner for $2,000. Who thinks you're it? I mean, you know you weren't it if you didn't do the homework last night, right? You know you took yourself right out of the game. And how often do you do that to yourself? Do not just make the effort because you were too busy, or make the effort because you thought you weren't going to win because you reasoned yourself right out of it. I know there's more of us than we care to admit where we've had that moment. We're not going to do that anymore, because while you're reasoning, other people are getting rich. And money touches everything you love, and we're not going to feel shame or guilt, which is another mind spirit. We're not going to feel shame or guilt because we have a calling to make money. Are we clear? Are we good with that? So the person who won $2,000 for doing your homework is Janine Wooten. Janine Wooten. So Janine Wooten, everybody give her a congratulations in the comment sections. Janine Wooten, give her a congratulations. She went the extra mile. We will be blessing you with $2,000 today. Hi, how are you? Oh, I can't hear you. I don't know why I still can't hear you. Okay, I can't hear you. There you are.
Oh my gosh. I am so excited. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. So anything you know you're going to spend the 2,000 on?
Oh my, you have no idea. What a blessing that is right now. It's huge. So we're actually in the middle of moving. We are moving next to my mom, who turned 90 a couple of weeks ago. And so moving next to her to help her out. And so you know how it is when you're moving, everything's crazy. So, oh my gosh, I'm so happy and love this training. I'm getting so much out of it. You're amazing.
So good. Mwah. All right, Janine, we can't wait to bless you with that. So they'll get a hold of you.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, so great lesson on just showing up and making this happen, okay? So I'm gonna have two people pop up in a couple minutes to share how they're using this model to be able to succeed. And part of being successful financially and part of being successful in a marriage or a relationship is to pick right? To have your picker be picking right. And so that's also with your customers or clients. So I know that there's a group of people who maybe don't know what your customer or client is yet. And the truth is, if you dug down deep, there's somebody that you feel more comfortable with. I want to get you out of your comfort zone, but that's a good place to start to know the people you feel most comfortable with are the people that you have the most authority with. Okay, the people that you don't feel most comfortable with are the people that it stretches you to train your communication to land with them. Anybody have somebody in your life that you have an emotional trigger with? You know, come on. Anybody? Yes or no? Anybody who is that person? Let's be honest. Is it your sister? Is it your husband? Is it your girlfriend? Who is it? Who's the person? My dad, right? Denise, of course, believe it or not, there are people that don't get emotionally triggered very easily when their leadership is in check. Husband and sister, yeah, okay. So your next level client base are the people that stretch you, and you need to know how to communicate in a way that inspires them so you don't get caught in the weeds. The weeds are where the wickedness happens, right? The weeds are where things get challenging. And so we want to stay out of the weeds so that you're in a vision conversation. A vision conversation is what makes everything work, okay? So I'm going to pick up from yesterday. It's okay if you missed the last 2 days. You might be a little confused, but still listen to what I'm talking about, because you can go back and you can train on the other 2 days, okay? So number one is we're leading a Bring a Friend challenge or a Bring a Friend contest. You want to rename it, right? You want to rename it to whatever it is that works for you. I had my client
Stand by, she'll be back in just a moment. Stand by, folks.
what?
Just stand by. There you are. We lost you for a minute.
Oh, weird. You want to name your campaign so that it's got an identity. Got it? You want to name the campaign so it's got an identity. One of the big things we're doing in our Mentor Me Live program right now is we are really working on people's identity, because when your identity is cracked, that's why all these people are looking for their worthiness. I mean, you don't need to do anything to be worthy. You made it onto the planet. I mean, just the fact that you are a human being makes you worthy. You know, like, it's unbelievable how much we circle the drain on a conversation that just because you have a thought that disqualifies you doesn't mean that you're unworthy. It just means that you need to get control of your thoughts. That's it. You just need to get control of your thoughts. You don't need to change you. You don't need to become more worthy. So identity is really important. Identity in a campaign is really important. So you need to give it an identity. So you need to name it. I call mine a Bring a Friend contest when I run it. It's 8 weeks long. You're going to have 2 days of the week that you're going to have a prize day, Wednesday and Sunday. Wednesday means whatever the goal is for the week that you want people to hit. Okay, we did prizes yesterday. I can't go over this again because I need to hit communication today. Okay, so say I said the first person, because we're selling tickets to your course or workshop for $197, right? And so if you say the first person that hits 10 Bring a Friends to my event for $197 will get $1,500 cash. Well, Wednesday would be, if you hit it by Wednesday, I'll give you 1,900 cash. So remember, or even 2,000 cash. It's okay, because if you take 197 times 10, it gives you almost $2,000. But remember, it's not just one person playing. So you have an overflow. So if one person hits it, it covers your prize. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Yes? But you're gonna have a couple people playing, or hundreds of people playing, or 20 or 30 people playing. And you're gonna have way more money than that to dish out on the prizes. So remember, the results create the prize. You see what I'm saying? So whatever my weekly goal is on the prize, if they hit it by Wednesday, I increase the benefit. You hear what I'm saying? Yes? Next, you need to have an opt-in page, and you need to have a thank you page. The opt-in page, I know this is very much in the weeds, but we gotta do this. The opt-in page has a tracking link. That tracking link is called an affiliate link. This cannot be Bitly. It needs to be, if you don't know what Bitly is, just Google it. I don't have time to go through it, okay? So keep, KEAP.com, keep has got an affiliate tracking. So do lots of them. You could Google affiliate tracking software. Okay, but you need that for this contest because everybody who signs up on the registration page, on the opt-in page, they get generated a link so that when they send their bring a friends in, right, that link is going to go to a sales page for your course or your workshop or your event. So their tracking link is going to go to that sales page. Get what I'm saying? It can be very, very simple. That sales page, that tracking link is a sales page and sells a ticket for $197. You need to be able to track that so that you know who's hitting what to benefit them with prizes. We don't want to be doing it on a Google Doc, okay? The fourth thing is you need a through line. This is how you lead it. So I saw this in the group last night. This is the reason why you're doing it. So there's a reason why people need to come to your course or your event. I recommend live events over virtual. I just do, because you can be worse at the offer and still succeed. But tomorrow we're going to have Suzanne Evans come and train the actual, like, how to lead a profitable event. Okay, so literally in the next session tomorrow, we will train how do you lead an event that you know that you're going to make 6 or 7 figures from that weekend, which, by the way, should have you just get over your mind chatter, your reasoning that reasons you out of success. Like, I'm not ready. That is not true. You need to be humble and vulnerable to just see this thing all the way through. The through line is what I want to talk to you about. And this is how do you communicate what you're doing in a way that creates fire and the way, like action. The way that you do that is you need to turn your heart over and see why would people play. So let's be really honest. If I said to all of you, because you guys are all entrepreneurs, business owners, if I said to you guys, okay, I'm doing a zone event and the through line is that I want to help people make money before next year, right? Before January, when the real estate market is prime for people to get in, that may or may not motivate you because it still is so much about the other person. That's why we created prizes. The prizes from yesterday's training was all about how do you motivate the players, the people who are playing and bringing people in for 197. Do not call the players who bring people to your event for 197 a ticket. Do not call them referrals. Everybody write that down. Nobody's signing up to give you referrals. That is not running a movement. Okay, so if I was to run one right now, I need to sit down. You guys who are meant to be live, we have a training called the empathy model. Study it, right? Because that's where you go deeper on this, but around your messaging. But if I was to go right now, it's like, what is the reason why I think people need to get into a room with me, before Christmas? And yes, it's because it's important to have cash for first quarter of next year. But if I was going to have you guys play, I would give you cash to play. Because do you see how those two things fit for the ideal customer or client? So I would be pushing a through line for my players on prizes that were connected with how to use these prizes to get ahead. This is really important. Here's how I would communicate with you. I would send out 2 emails a day at the beginning of the day to motivate you. And at about 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon to catch a human moment. Do you know what a human moment is? This is where people go sideways. Most of you guys actually think that if you over communicate, people will be irritated with you. That means you're not qualified to lead a movement because it's still about you. So hear me. My job is not to be your friend. My job is to be your mentor right now. And so to be a mentor, I need to be honest. And I will tell you, there are some people who get mad at a mentor being honest, which is why a lot of the high-end mentors don't mentor anymore. They only do courses, and you never get this type of access because they're tired of being the reason why people don't succeed. You know what I mean? Like, people put it on their mentors. You must over communicate. And you must communicate the right thing, which has nothing to do with your ambition of making money. It has nothing to do with your ambition of filling an event. That is a byproduct of you having strong leadership. That is a byproduct of you having strong leadership. So what that means is if I'm creating prizes, say I'm doing say I've got a relationship company, right? I might create prizes like you can, if it's a marriage company, you and your husband can come, and maybe the top 10 people who have 25 or more bring a friends at the event will get to come and have like an evening with me and my husband to coach you in your marriage, if that was the case, right? Like a mini retreat. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So when I'm leading the through line of the 8-week campaign, I'm going to be pushing on that, hoping that Ashley and Michelle and Melissa and Tom, I will be speaking directly to you guys. Like I'll be using your names when I'm writing emails throughout the day. Do you get what I'm saying? My 2 emails a day. And I'll be like, you know, Michelle, I see you. And I think that you know already that you're successful. I know I'm not speaking to just Michelle, but what I'm doing is I'm taking my hot list, the people that I think are the strongest that could win, and I'm being a mentor underneath them and rising them up. How many of you guys know that you need to be seen to succeed? Yeah. You need, and I'm going to tell you, I've seen more people pop in Mentor Me Live, our community, because they just needed to ask me. One of them is going to pop up in a couple seconds, Amy Amada. They just needed to ask me, Shanda, do you believe I can do this? And I'm not kidding you. Same coaching you're getting, but just to unleash themselves, they needed to stand in front of me at a mastermind and just say, do you think I can do that? And you know, when you look at somebody, can't you tell if they can do it or not? Like honestly, if you look at somebody, you could tell if they're gonna make it or not. You could tell by their body language. You could tell they could be insecure, but you can tell. Like you can tell. Am I right? Do you guys right? Yeah. Okay, let me ask you another question. Have you ever walked into a room and you're like, I don't trust that person? Put the word trust in the comment section. If any of you guys have experienced that, I don't trust that person. Yes. So same thing. So many of us, because we are constantly reasoning. Did you know that the Bible says a calm mind is where miracles happen? So much we miss. We miss what advice we're getting. We miss somebody saying, you know, your marriage is a shambles, and one of our clients comes and puts a message in front of you that says, come to my event and I'll help you save your marriage. You're like, you're so busy on the mind chatter of the emotional trigger and reasoning why you should or shouldn't be in this marriage. And then you miss the offer, right? You kind of see it, but you're like, I don't even have the bandwidth to think about that offer. Who knows what I'm talking about? You must quiet your mind. If you want to be successful, this is why meditation works, right? That's why people feel better when they go for walks in the middle of the day. So many people think they don't have time for these things. You don't have time not to, because you're missing belief, because you can't even slow down your mind, so you're not making a decision. Okay, you need to be very, very clear on your decision making when you're leading this hot list of people who are bringing people to your event for $197. And by the way, if you want to fill the event even more, you could say they can bring a spouse, a business partner, a best friend for $197. Why would I do that? Because I want more people in your rooms. Eventually, you're not going to be able to do that, but the more people in your room, the better. Why? Because you're going to make another offer at that event. Everybody write this down. Always make offers. Always make offers. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel shameful about it. That alone is a spirit as well, right? That none of that this is why identity is so big. When you feel shameful about making offers, that is a self-focused personal development thing. And I love personal development, but it's so mistaught in so many ways, because it's like, how long can I lay on the therapy bed and nothing's happening in my life? You know, eventually it's like, okay, let's get up and do something about it, get control of my mind and move. You get it? So you must make offers, because we asked the other day, I think I asked him VIP. Oh no, I didn't. I asked him Mentor Me Live. I went from the challenge yesterday to VIP to Mentor Me Live training, right? And so I asked him my Mentor Me Live program, and I'll ask you guys, this is not an offer. But if I made you an offer and it was $20,000, $20,000, and you think about this, like, do not blow smoke up my you-know-what, $20,000, and you could spend a day with me. And then I would make sure for 60 days that we had touch points to execute fast, because money loves speed, obedience loves speed. How many of you guys would do the 20,000? Put 20 in the comment section. Put 20. Put 20 in the comment section. Okay, now some of you guys are blowing up my you know what. Do you know what I mean? That sounds horrible, but you get what I'm saying. Because some of you guys wouldn't figure it out because you would reason yourself out of it. Where others would stay in the tension of focusing on what I'm gonna win because I get that clarity, because I get that certainty, because Shanda's standing in front of me saying, yes, I believe you can do it. By the way, I would never tell you to do something if I didn't believe you could do it. This Bring a Friend contest, everybody can do it. But you must know how to lead the through line, which is a vision. So everybody write this down. What is your reason for making your offers for these events? A lot of times people sell content. You need to sell emotion. Emotion is a vision. When I'm standing on the beach here in Puerto Rico and I'm looking out at the beach, drinking my latte, I have a feeling to that, right? There's a feeling to that. When you put a bunch of money in your bank account and you know that $100,000 this year went into a savings account for your retirement, or went into an investment that was going to pay you out $200,000 for that $100,000. There's a feeling to that, isn't there? Yes or no? Yep, got it, Suzanne. Yes or no? Yes, there's a feeling to that. You need to know what is the feeling that somebody's going to get when they get the result at your event. That is your through line. Every time you open your mouth, you need to be talking about things that evoke that feeling. This is going to take some thought because remember, a confused mind is not of God. Okay, so confusion is not a natural state of the mind. The natural state of the mind that we were all born with is a calm mind. That's where miracles happen. That's where speed happens. That's where success happens. When your mind is not calm because you just heard me and went, oh my God, that feels like, am I doing this right? Or what's the right thing to do? That means that you're under attack right now. I hate to say it, but it is. You've gotten in a habit of being in that confusion. You can rest yourself, go for a walk, take the pressure off. And that's how you start to manage your mind. Go for a walk and think about it. And be like, what is the result that I want to see them get? And what is the feeling? And what does that feeling evoke? And what does that feeling evoke? And keep going deeper and deeper and deeper until it's such a feeling that your whole body lights up. Now you know you're on the right thing. That's the thing that you need to write about. That's the thing you need to talk about. Send 2 emails a day to the people who are bringing friends to your event. 2 emails a day, and send private text messages to the people who are playing. You want to know what's going on in their life. You want to essentially be their mentor, even if you don't see yourself as a mentor. My friends, that is the whole entire campaign. Every week, I get more excited about the weekly prize to give it to them because of the reason that it's going to bless the players' lives. And I speak about that emotion every single day, twice a day. I come in at different angles because I look at, oh my gosh, they're not even playing. Then I think I need to wake them up. I'm like, you're not playing. Why are you not playing? Do you not want to have a day with me? Do you not think that your business is important? Do you get what I'm saying? I start pushing on that weekly prize and the emotion and the experience and the feelings they're going to feel when they're successful, and encouraging them. Like, sometimes I say, I believe in you, but other times I say, I know that you can win this month. I know that you could win this week. And I only say that to the people who I actually know can do it. The people who I know cannot do it, I say, you might surprise me and win it, but if anything else, you're going to learn how to move a bunch of people. Like, it's about honesty converts. Amy Yamada, let's pop you up for a second. Amy Yamada. Amy Yamada.
Hey.
Hot, awesome. Amy, tell everybody how you started playing this Bring a Friend campaign and what it's done. Because, and also like, did you feel insecure about launching this? Because it's not complicated. But
So when I played the contest or when I hosted the contest?
Both, actually. That's great. That's great.
Because I know that being a part of this community for a number of years, at the beginning, I did not play the contest because I thought, well, gosh, I have my own stuff that I'm working on. Why would I focus on playing your contest, right? And you lovingly called me out and you said, why would you not play? And I remember being a little bit like,
Okay, so that's the private message.
Yeah.
As she's talking, so if I don't privately message her, I can sit in my world and go, why is nobody playing? So I went and asked her, why would you not play?
Yeah. And I remember exactly what you said, because that year, your first place prize was to win a spot on your stage the following year at the Zone event. And so you asked me, you said, would it make a difference for you to speak on my stage next year? And I was like, well, yeah, obviously it would. And you're like, no, tell me what difference it would make. Just be honest, like, be so honest with me. I'm like, well, I do want to speak on bigger stages. I want the experience of it, right? And you're like, and I was like, and I would get that exposure, and you're like, and I would probably attract some clients from it. So really, you inspired me with initially the prize, and then you're like, so why would
writing this down, everybody? You should be writing this down, because think she's telling you what I asked her, like verbatim.
Yeah.
Right. And so notice I was getting her into the emotion. It's not contrived. It's actually getting her clear if she wants to play or not. Do you know what I'm saying? And so she was safer going to a bigger stage with me there in this circumstance because I could help her. So she's different than maybe Sage, who's going to pop up next. Actually, why don't we pop up Sage with Amy right now? Pop up Sage with Amy right now. Awesome. So good. Hey, Sage.
Hi, Sage.
You're muted for some reason. She's like, I am. Okay. She figures that out.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, you are getting blessed by such good stuff right now. I'm even taking notes. I'm like, oh, this strategy has made me over $1 million, by the way.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Okay.
Yeah.
So Amy, I was wondering why Amy wasn't playing, and maybe I might wonder why Sage isn't playing. So if I don't private message them because they're on my hot list, right? Like they're the people I believe in that would engage, and I could see, right? I could see what value it would be if they won one of the prizes, and probably the top prize, right? For them. And so if they're not playing because they're busy doing their own businesses, I need to find out why. So Amy gets into the emotion of like, oh my gosh, like actually, if I won that first prize, I would speak on a bigger stage, I get some clients, and I would get more experience speaking on the bigger stage at that time, right? Now she speaks on great stages. So Sage, did you ever not play? I can't remember if you played I'll Bring a Friend or not.
I played 1 year and I did great. I sent you like 7 or 8 friends. I was afraid that if I sent you some of my people, they would buy from you and not me. And what was so cool was that 2 of them bought from both of us, and the rest would never have bought from you. Or they never would have bought from me. They weren't my clients. And then you promoted me the following year and sent me like 7 clients. And I got out of my mindset of trying to control that. And I got into abundance mindset.
So good. Who needed to hear that right there? Just say me in the chat. Who needed to hear that? Because that is such a normal, like these women are being super transparent, right? That's so normal. But those belief systems hurt you when you go to make offers because you're like, I can't make a guarantee like that. What if I make a guarantee like that and somebody takes advantage of me? I can't go all in like that because I'm not really safe, because I'm not really sure if these people really like me or I've got what it takes to lead them all the way. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be in competition. You don't want to be in competition with anybody but yourself to beat your own numbers, right? You want to be in collaboration, especially in a market like today, where we're currently, while we're recording this, we're in a recession, right? And so this is where I could call either of these ladies to promote me with or without an affiliate tracking make money link, and they would do it. And so much of those relationships are created when you run campaigns like this, because you have a reason to be close, because you're connecting a couple times a day as you're running these 8-week contests. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Yes? Say yes or say no, I'm clueless, right? Okay. So Sage, tell me, when do you guys both call it Bring a Friend?
I don't.
One and yes. So what do you call it, Amy?
I call it my Make a Difference campaign.
Great, Make a Difference campaign.
We call it Bring a Friend. We also call it Share the Love.
Oh, that's so funny. Gladys was on yesterday. She goes, share the love. Okay, so tell me, is there anything during this campaign? It's a simple campaign, but if you ever think anything you've learned that has had people pop, whether it's a prize, whether it's a way that you led it, that has people pop and engage and bring friends.
Yeah, I'll chime in. And Sage, by the way, I could totally relate to what you said about sending people to Shanda. The same resistance. And so
She's a damn good saleswoman, right? And then I was like,
great.
I've got to get to be just as good of a saleswoman as Shanda is, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly. And Shanda, one thing you said to me, because I was honest with you about that too. I said, well, if I'm going to send people to you, they're going to enroll in you. And I remember you saying to me, you said, if you ever want to be really abundant, you can't think that way. And you talked about how often you help your friends and colleagues and clients with all like behind the scenes strategies. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to be open and coachable, I'm going to do this. And then I said to you, I was like, okay, but if I'm going to play, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to be on that stage next year. So, but to share about that, when I started, then I learned how to host my own contest, having played all out, which was really powerful. And one thing that I realized was that it's exactly what you said. It's all in how I lead it. So similar to what you did with me, I thought about who are my strongest players? Who are my strongest clients? Who are the people that I know are here to be on a mission with me? And I led it that way too. I said, of course there are these amazing prizes, and think about the difference that you get to make. I believe you're an entrepreneur because you want to make a difference. And this is in my case, the Make a Difference campaign. So why would you not invite people to this event if you believed it would make a difference for them?
So you challenged their heart. This is why your leadership is everything. So what she saw was, I need to challenge their heart to be better at what they even do in their own, their own companies, so to speak.
Yeah,
super powerful.
Exactly. And then I just shared about my own experience with you, which was, I had so many more breakthroughs than the prize was amazing, but there were so many breakthroughs along the way of expanding my capacity. And, going from I'm too busy, I don't have enough time. And another lesson I learned from you is that if you don't have time for this, then you don't have time to expand your impact. You don't have time for other people. You don't have time for, right? And so it made me realize that I had a story about time.
Well, and so what I did was I had people like Amy and you got to think, this is how pure this is. So think about that. This is counterintuitive. Like, this is why your love for your players has to be bigger than filling the room. I looked at her and other people had time conversations, and I said, launch one of your own campaigns at the same time as playing this contest, because activity breeds more activity. And if you do that, you're going to find that if you're going all in on the Bring a Friend contest and you're going all in on your campaign, the leadership is going to, you're going to be this powerhouse in both things. Right. And then what happened was these guys started thinking about things like, oh, well, while I'm running my own campaign, I can put a Bring a Friend option in what I'm doing. How many of you guys know that you stop yourself from succeeding because you really do reason your way out of it? You think yourself right. You think yourself right out of it, when innovation comes from commitment. And so you can actually get more done than you're getting done now. The thing is that you have to look at, like, how do I go all in on everything I'm doing? And you will find areas that you can get more proficient in, like adding a Bring a Friend to what Amy's already doing, her own campaign, which then barrels it up. Amy's also innovated this campaign inside of our community. And before I launch it, she goes and gets an army of people that are reasoning themselves out of success, and they're not going to play because they don't think they're going to win. And what they do is they come underneath her leadership, and she does the same thing I'm doing with my hot list, where she's leading them. They're having major breakthroughs, and they're bringing friends under her link. And what happens is, didn't you win the last one?
2 times ago.
Okay, so the last one, They hit 80 bring a friends in 48 hours.
Yeah.
80. It was like, because somebody did the same thing Amy's doing, because once one person innovates something, it's like, you know, it's like the guy who did I can't remember what speed he did on the running. It's like everybody, when somebody breaks, this is why masterminds are so important.
Yeah.
Breaks a record and you're like, oh my God, I'm just like that. I'm just like that dude. I'm just like that woman. Like in fact, I think I'm stronger than that person. And they just did that result. This is why isolation, right? And so when you see like-minded people creating these results, you start to do it. So now Amy now has competition in a good way, where she's got people in the community that rally her own strategy and it makes them all better. So, and by the way, the $80,000 that went to the person who won last year, they donated it. They donated it to human trafficking. They didn't even take the money. As a team, that's what they decided to do.
We did that the year before that. There was an initial prize of 30,000. Like if the first team that did 75 would have 30,000, and so we donated to Build Wells in Ghana for my stepdaughter's charity, and it just felt so good to be in that mindset of truly making an impact, making a difference. And
okay, but that's a good point. So Amy's stepdaughter, she was really connected with this little girl rising up in her leadership. And because of that, she had fire behind the campaign of winning. Do you get what I'm saying? She was very motivated to keep. So there's so much power in like really noticing your people who are playing, what's in it for them, truly. Sage, tell us some advice. What have you done to make this pop?
I think what you're saying about through line is everything. And one of the things I learned from Shanda is the context matters more than the content. So what's the container you're putting on it? And for me, I was a school teacher from Iowa. I used to make like $28,000 a year, and Shanda taught me how to build a multi-million-dollar company. And if you have a chance to go deeper with Shanda, definitely do it. Shanda helped me learn how to think about it. She helped me realize that this wasn't about trying to get people to sell for me. This was about learning how to lead. Yeah. And word of mouth marketing is never going away. And word of mouth marketing is only going to get more important as we are in this recession. It's critical as algorithms were changing and social media is changing. And the thing that really made it pop for us over here is not thinking about it in terms of the prizes, but thinking about it in terms of just what you said, Shanda. When you're playing here, you'll be able to play full out in your business. And how do you want to be? You know, do you want to be somebody that leads? And we go further when we go together. Like I've got this sign up here. You guys see the sign? Together we rock. Together we so rock. You see it on top of my, right? Like we're like we go further when we go together brand. I train women speakers. And so we know that when we have people alongside us that are warm connections, we can all go further. Why wouldn't we want to succeed with our friends? Shanda always says connection is currency. And no matter what your niche is, whether you are helping people rock their relationships or helping people heal their bodies, we all go further and create more in our lives when we have other people around us that are taking those same steps. And I talk a lot about how we're the culmination of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So get them in here. Mediocrity and complacency is an issue, right? Why wouldn't you want to bring people into the greatness of something like what Shanda's creating? And you guys can all pop together, and people get so excited to be collaborating because that connection is currency.
So good. So,
and let me just share my numbers, Shanda.
Okay, I was actually going to just ask for numbers.
I pulled them.
I on my crew knowing their numbers.
I got up early and pulled them as I was playing with my new puppy. In 2017, I made $140,000 from Bring a Friend. In 2018, it went up to almost 200,000. In 2019, it was over 200,000. Up. In 2021, we were shut down because of COVID. I still made over $250,000 from Bring a Friend. And this year we made almost 300,000 from Bring a Friend. Shanda, you've helped me make like $1.7 million with this one strategy alone. And what happens is people love playing it. And I know some of you guys are like, what is this Bring a Friend? I'm sure you might be like, what is this Bring a Friend thing about? But Shanda's actually teaching you one of the most effective strategies that you can do, whether you have a list or whether you don't have a list, whether you have a Facebook ads team or whether you don't have a Facebook ads team. Like this thing is gold.
So good, so good. Amy, do you have any idea what you did more? Bring a friend. Sage also runs a lot more ads now,
Right.
but with your Bring a Friend, do you have any idea what you've done?
Yeah. So that was the strategy for my event that filled a majority of my room. If I didn't have that, I probably would have had a retreat, like a little group of people, which is nothing wrong with that. Each year that I ran my Bring a Friend contest to come into my Dream Big event, we did $500,000 each year. And I get a little choked up thinking about that because I'm like, wow, like if I hadn't gotten out of my own way to play your contest, I wouldn't have seen that it's so much more than having people refer for me or sell for me or any of that. It's about truly creating a movement. And also it tightened the relationship with myself and my clients when I led it. Because I was like, hey, if for those of you who choose to play, we're going to have our own private Voxer group. And we're going to be there every single day. And I'm going to get you fired up about making a difference, not only in this contest, but in your life and your business. And so for those weeks, my clients just showed like they lit up because we were in the container together. It was so on fire. So it just took us off. And for myself too, it took me to the next level of really standing in that for a stretch of time. And to have these really warm, wonderful people come to my events was incredible. So yeah, so I'm saying.
Thank you, ladies. Remember this for all of you guys. Who feels alone while you're growing your business? Put alone in the comment section. Who feels alone a lot while you're growing your business? So it often feels like, especially the fact that many of us do virtual businesses, it can feel very lonely. But the thing is, when you run this contest, it actually feels like you have a big company. Like even if you've just got 5 or 6 people playing with you, 20 people, it will grow. If you do this 2 times a year, I think that would be super smart. I filled majority of my rooms with Bring a Friend for 2 years and did over $2 million. So as you literally focus on just learning how to lead this well and going back to the recordings for the last 3 days, I know that you will see that this thing comes together and it's not complicated. I've gone through the checklist twice. So I'm going to say bye to Sage and Amy. Love you guys. Oh, really quickly. I just want to honor both of these ladies. Both of these ladies have become millionaires. Both of these ladies are out there making a difference in the world. I could bring up men as well. It just happens that I just thought about them. I have not taught this model to a bunch of people. There's probably only 6 or 10 people that I've even taught this model to. Total blind spot on my side, but it's incredible to see what you can do and not feel afraid or feel alone growing your business. Thank you, Sage. Thank you, Amy. Love you too.
You guys are amazing.
Thanks, you guys. Okay, so here's what I want to share with you. So first and foremost, how many of you guys would love to know how to go deeper with us? Put yes in the chat if you would. So I have an unbelievable opportunity. I actually told our team that I don't think I've ever, I know I have never made an offer like this. And I feel very excited about extending this opportunity because building a business alone is not the best way to do it. And I invite you to check in with your spirit and also with the success that you want to create. And one of the things that I realized growing my business is that I could keep trying to do it alone and I would get there eventually, right, y'all? Like we get there eventually, at least we hope we do. I just have a mantra with myself that I say, as long as I don't stop, I'm going to get there eventually, right? Like I just get into that energy. But the truth is that some of you guys want to go faster. Am I right? Yes or yes, right? Like, yes, some of us want to go faster. So I'm going to take a couple minutes really quickly and share with you how you can go deeper with us. Now, I did ask you guys if you could spend a day with me for 20,000, who would say yes? And there was a bunch of people who put 20s. Go in the comment section. That is not the offer, by the way. Go in the comment section and read how many people put a 20. Right now, we are in the state of, the market changing, and cash flow is critically important. In fact, in Tampa, I'm going to be meeting with our Mentor Me Live clients, and I'm going to be working with them 100% on cash flow. How did one of my friends go from closing her company, literally alone, thinking, I need to close this thing. Like it's not worth it. She was a mom, she's got a husband, and it was too much work for what she was squeezing out of it. Anybody relate? Yes or no? Right? And so she was sitting there going, I need to close this down. It was a mentor who is a close friend of mine who also mentors me. It was a mentor that had a 30-minute conversation with her and helped move her to a new strategy that had her do $160 million. So many of you guys are studying with the wrong mentors, or you're not going all in and pressing in with your mentor. This is a woman that almost closed her business. She'll be at the next mastermind for Mentor Me Live on November 17th and 18th in Tampa, Florida. So this group is called Mentor Me Live. Okay, this group is called Mentor Me Live. It's my year-long program. That's not what I'm offering today. I'm not offering my year-long program, but I am offering you an opportunity to jump in with me for 6 months. Okay, for 6 months for the price of an info product, for the price of a course that you could digitally buy online. You guys should be getting really, really excited right now because we have lined this up. I'm doing this, like, this is crazy that I'm doing this, but it's going to transform some people's lives if they don't reason themselves out of it. So in Mentor Me Live, we have 3 calls a month. There are 3 training calls a month. And these 3 training calls are every first 3 Tuesdays of the month, because the last week of the month we take a flex week. Remember how I told you about managing your mind, y'all, right? Yes. Who needs to manage your mind? Put MM, right? Who needs to manage your mind? Put MM. So one of the ways that I manage my mind is I take the last week of the month off, and I do that to give myself space to be able to think, to get intimate with what I'm working on. Like when you're about to close your business, you could do 160 million. That is intimacy time. See, when you're busy and you're in scarcity and you're alone, you just don't do that. And unfortunately, I'm not in competition with the other business masterminds out there. Just like you, I'm going to train you to spot a pattern and a gap that needs to be filled. The pattern and the gap that needs to be filled is we don't have real mentors leading many of the high-end masterminds anymore. Do you guys realize that? Yes or no? We don't, because they don't want to mentor anymore, because it costs them more money to mentor than it does to do a webinar. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Like if I charged you $20,000 for a day, it costs me more to take that day out of work than it does for me to be in work and do a webinar every single day. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Because I can do a webinar and make 70,000 or make 100,000 or whatever. And I can show you how to do that, but I can't show you how to do that on a free challenge. It doesn't, because you gotta apply it. And then when it breaks, I need to mentor you. So we have 3 mentor calls every Tuesday for the first 3 Tuesdays of the month. And then the last week of the month is Flex Week. Sage and Amy, who were just on, they do Flex Week. Okay, it's critically important. That's how you create millions of dollars. So I train the first one, and that keeps you up to date on messaging, marketing, everything that's changing. It's changing almost every 30 to 45 days on how you message what you're doing. So imagine if I can help you create a Bring a Friend contest, or imagine if I can help you create a package or a program or a product, price it right, and bring cash in the door really quickly. Right? Imagine, I can't give you an income claim, but imagine if you could sit with me and be able to do that. So on our calls, these are the things that we do. We also have my friend Rex Crane. Who knows Rex Crane? Put Rex in the chat if you know who he is. He's off the charts. He is a mentor for Callaway Golf. He was just hanging out with Paula Abdul, working with her and mentoring her. This dude is like connected. And he teaches the second Tuesday of every month. He's also prophetic, which if you don't know what that means, it means that he can see in the spirit. So in other words, there are moments where spiritual warfare is happening around you, and there are moments that we all drop to our knees and we pray. The problem is we're praying desperate prayers versus authority prayers. He's going to get you back in your identity so that you actually create the results that you want, and see whatever is going on around you, it's going to break. I know that because he's the only person that gets to work with high-level executives in really top companies, and they only, at Callaway Golf, they only allow Rex to influence the minds of the people who are running the company. Do you guys get that? Like, you need to let that in for a second. The mind is everything. It's where spiritual warfare happens. It's where you get your mental attacks, right? And that's what takes you out. Your emotions are what drain you. That's what drains you. It's not actually what you're working on. It's your emotions. I can prove it to you. I can put more on your calendar and have you make more money and feel more restful than if I can get you out of the mind chatter. And I don't mean in personal development. I mean in authority. Who are you? Who are you? And who are you at the next level of success? Rex leads the second Tuesday of every month, and my husband leads the third Tuesday of every month. The reason why my husband does the third is because we have you create quarterly goals in Mentor Me Live. And we have a very, very high success rate. So we know that you can create a month of goals in 2 weeks. Isn't that cool? We know that. So Ash is there to say, nice try, Ashley. You're not going to not hit your mark today. You know, Irene, it's time for you to get going. Let's go. You know, like he's there to break the blocks, you know, and he's very, very good. Who has encountered Ash before? Put Ash in the comment section. The dude is powerful. He doesn't stand for excuses. He won't stand for you belittling yourself. He's not interested in you self-doubting yourself. He's more interested in having a conversation of success with you and showing you exactly if you did this 1 or 2 tweaks right now that you would hit your monthly goal before the end of the week or the end of the month. A woman that just worked with him and Mentor Me Live, she did a role play with him in something called The Club. The Club is where we teach you how to sell. You go find me another program that will meet you 6 times a month. 6 times a month. So not only, there's no way you can get lost in this program because all you have to do is plug in. You've got 3 calls a month that are mentor calls, CEO calls, strategy, mental blocks, motivation, follow through, all the shit that gets you out of the game, all the stuff that gets in the way, right? Then you have straight selling conversion 6 times a month. The reason for that is because if we don't build, like when we work with our sales team, we work with them every day, right? We work with them every day. One of our Mentor Me Live clients goes and gets a role play with Ash, and you can get role plays in the club. You can also get call reviews in the club. If you want to record a call that you do, we'll do a call review. And we'll show you if you just did this, this, and this, you'll pop. So one of our clients from Mentor Me Live went and worked with Ash, and she made $70,000 in 2 weeks. Now, I can't give you an income claim, but this was a brand new product. She'd never sold it before, and she was feeling insecure about it. And so just getting seen and having a role play around it had her pop in her belief so she can create it. How many of you guys know that your belief is getting in the way of your destiny? How many of you guys know that your belief is getting in the way of your destiny? So what are you going to do? Just keep sitting there by yourself and like hoping that this thing's going to come together? Or are you going to show God, the universe, you know, Buddha, whatever you want to call it? You know what I mean? Are you going to show that you're committed and you're going all the way, right? And that's what you do when you invest in something. So you get 3 training calls a month. They're mentor calls. You get 6 calls with the club. You get something called Hardcore World, unlimited access to that, which is all my 10-minute trainings on how do you create cash injections, how do you do the empathy model work, because your messaging needs to change all the time. And so you need to know how to be in front of anybody and switch your messaging so it actually impacts the person versus what's my message that's going to impact millions? The message that impacts millions is actually a pivot constantly. Whatever stage I go in front of, I have to change my message to hit the audience where it matters to them. Do you guys get that? Money is given to people who produce value. If you're focused so much on getting it right, you're not focused on creating value. So in here, in Hardcore World, I recommend that you study, if you're jumping in with me, you study the empathy model. I also recommend that you study cash injections. There's a 10-minute training on cash injections around if you have clients and if you don't have clients. Got it? Yes? Yes? Okay. In addition, I will give you a 2-day mastermind. You'll have one of those. You can either come to Tampa, as long as there's still space. You can come to Tampa on the 17th or 18th. If you can't come to Tampa or it doesn't work out, then the great thing about that is we'll have another one in March that you can come to. So what would all of this cost? Well, if I was going to break it out, it would be $13,000. But that's not what I'm going to do for 6 months of working with us. Okay, that's a lot of training with 6 months of working with us. There's 2 types of people. There's the people who need the accelerated package, which is option number 1, or people who need a payment package. Let me tell you the difference. You could pop up joinmentormelive.com is the URL. So the people who need, who are you guys who like speed? Put speed in the comment section. Who are the people who need speed? Put speed in the comment section. Okay, so now listen to me. I have an accelerated package. You can come work with me, not for 13,000. You can get 3 calls a month, 6 selling calls. You can get role playing in there, whatever you need, right? There's so much, this is every freaking month. Okay, like we're connected. We're connected in Meant to Be Live. Plus you get a 2-day mastermind, whether that's in Tampa or in March, it'll probably be in Arizona or Las Vegas. Either one you could go to. Plus you get my vault of 10-minute trainings on whatever it is you need. I know it's in there to be able to convert whatever problem needs to be solved in your company. We got a training for it. So you get unlimited access to that. So you can either take the accelerated package for $2,500. Who's excited about that? For $2,500, you get 6 months. Okay, so you got 6 months. Like, let me just, 2,500 divided by 6, that's $416 a month. Are you kidding me? That's 6 months. Okay, like you're not going to get this type of training anywhere for 6 months. So you can reason yourself out, or you can actually go, I'm reasonable enough to know I need this girl's help. I need this community's help. I want to get great results. For $2,500, you can take option number 1, plus I'll give you 2 one-on-one private coaching sessions. This is not with me, with coaches. Now, I want you to know something. My coaches are like rocking it. Like Bob's making 50-something thousand a month, cash in the door, bring home, and he doesn't even have his own product, right? So if you're sitting there like, I don't even know what to offer, have enough courage. Just have enough courage. Right there. Join mentormelive.com. Have enough courage to jump in. The accelerated package is $2,500. There's no payment plan with that, and I'll give you 2 one-on-one coaching sessions. If you want speed, that's the one to take. If you don't need speed and you're like, you know what, I need a little bit more help, Shanda. I need a little bit more help with this. Can you help me? I do have an option number 2. The option number 2 is 3 payments of $895. 2 payments of $895. 3 payments of $895. Sorry, I've never made this offer before. So this is an insane offer. To be able to work with me for half a year, $2,500 plus 2 one-on-one coaching sessions with one of our accredited coaches, or if you need a payment plan, then you don't get the private coaching because I'm going to be your finance, I'm going to be your bank, and it's 3 payments of $895. So you can go to joinmentormelive.com, and I'm going to throw something in crazy. You guys excited about this yet? I feel pretty good making this offer for you because somebody's about to get hooked up that's going to get out of their own way, okay? So you got option number 1, $2,500, joinmentormelive.com, 2 one-on-one private coaching sessions. Why is this important? Well, this is super important because if you need accelerated speed, I don't care if you take those 2 one-on-one coaching sessions like in one day and get 2 hours, which is a half VIP day, or if you want to take that and stretch it out over 2 months. It's totally irrelevant to me. You're the boss. What do you need, right? Option number 2 is a payment plan, which is 3 payments of $895. 3 payments of $895 for the payment option. Now, I haven't done this in a while, so this is a real blessing. I'm going to offer 2 things. One is I'm going to throw in my list power training in this, which is November 28th, 29th, and 30th, which is how do you build an email list and a text message list? Both the ladies you saw from and everybody in my community do this. They build client lists or customer lists. It's how we can pop them like really, really fast. So I'm going to train that. November will be the last time of the year. It'll be the last time that I do it, November 28th, 29th, and 30th. I'm going to gift that program with this membership because it's the right thing to do. It's what all my clients, like I encourage all of them to do that. But I'm going to give you a 20-minute bonus. For those of you who are going to stop sitting on the fence in your life, you're going to stop hitting snooze. And you're like, I'm going to become successful. I'm not interested in snooze anymore. I'm interested in being successful. I'm interested in creating the results I want. I'm interested in speed. I want to create this result now. Here's what I'm going to do. At one of the masterminds, I'm going to offer a private, intimate lunch with me with only the people who jump in the next 20 minutes. I don't know if we have a 20-minute clock, but it'd be awesome if we have one. In the next 20 minutes, I'm starting that now. I have my team watching now. I will offer a lunch at one of the masterminds. Now, you know that's not going to be 500 people. It's probably not, it's not going to be 200. I know that, right? It's going to be a smaller group of people who decided that they were going to stop processing themselves out of success. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's insane to me. Let me tell you something. Most people buy a day after an offer is done. Don't be that person. They say things like, I got to ask my husband. No, you need to enroll your husband. Right? You need to go and say, I have to do this. I need you to support me. You need to get convicted in what you're doing. I have to go move money around. No, you need to text somebody right now. I had a 19-year-old who could, by the way, the program is a $12,000 program. Do you know what I mean? It's 12,000, 15,000. There's different levels of it. And so to get it for 2,500 for half a year is insane. I know my Mentor Me Live people are like, OMG, like I see Amanda, don't miss this offer. Wow, great offer, right? Like, it's like, don't be crazy, jump in the offer. But my point is I had this 19-year-old who's got the big offer. So
Sit tight, everybody. She'll be back in a moment. There's probably some weather in Puerto Rico. We lost you again, Shanda.
oh no, can you guys hear me? The
No, we
VIP got to hear me. Okay, so you got, okay, good. I'm glad you can hear me. So there was this 19-year-old who I sent out the room and I gave her 20 minutes to go find the money. It was the big program. It was this for an entire year, no discounts. And she came back in 10 minutes and she had the money. The reason why I'm saying this is so often we take ourselves out of the game and you wonder why we're not succeeding. Can you hear that? Like, we're never we don't succeed by getting into our comfort zone. We succeed by stepping up. You will never, I guarantee you will never see another offer like this. This is a gift from God. This is an answered prayer for some of you guys. This is a leg up. This is the break that you wanted. And the break is here. You go to joinmentormelive.com. If you go there now, there's a 20-minute bonus that I will have lunch with everybody who jumps in the 20 minutes, which means I'll buy you lunch, I'll hang out with you, and you can ask me anything you want, and we'll have a great intimate lunch together. Got it? Sound good? Okay, I'm gonna switch over to VIP, and I recommend you don't hesitate, second guess, or think too much about this. And there's either two options. Option number one is the accelerated, which means you get 2 private coaching sessions with a coach, and that's $2,500. Or option two is you need my help and you need me to be the bank for you. And in that case, I'm happy to do that for 3 payments of $895. You put down one of those payments today. All right, you guys. Tomorrow, I will see you at 10 a.m. Eastern. Keep an eye out on your text message, your emails, so that you can make sure that you're live on time tomorrow.